none of this radio pop shit. I drop this, turning back the clocks to rock shit. I cop it, said knock knock, I'm on this. I'm hot bitch, like a hot bitch, it's top lit. I lock in, I got this, radio drop this. Hot shit, just watch this, I fucking promise. So lit, do not miss your chance to cop this. Will you capture it, or just let it slip? Or to say I wanna be in, cause my rap is tight. No really, they just give a fuck that I ain't black and white. I'm not anyone else, man, I'm one of a kind. So sit back, relax, and listen one more time. I said I got this, none of this radio pop shit. I drop this, turning back the clocks to rock shit. I cop it, said knock knock, I'm on this. I'm hot bitch, like a hot bitch, the top lit. I said I got this, none of this radio pop shit. I drop this, turning back the clocks to rock shit. I cop it, said knock knock, I'm on this. I'm hot bitch, like a hot bitch, the top lit. I love the girls that fuck with my music. Getting referrals from the girls, love to booze it. Party and lose it, that's the life I'm choosing. Not losing, that's my 2 cents, so use it. You know I'm back, as a matter of fact. I'm better than ever, never been better. I know that I wrote that. Sipping on some coke and no jack. Could stare and bitch and take a pic. Kodak, I threaten the game, cause money and fame, they don't affect my brain. It's fucking all the same. I'm sick of hearing about these Insta names with Insta fame. Take a pic, sick, you're lame. A quick fix to shame. You lick dick for fame. A thick chick is lame. A chick picked too late. I think I've gone insane. I think I've lost my brain. And honestly, I'm a motherfucking novelty. I said I got this, none of this radio pop shit. I drop this, turning back the clocks to rock shit. I cop it, said knock knock, I'm on this. I'm hot bitch, like a hot bitch, the top lit. I said I got this, none of this radio pop shit. I drop this, turning back the clocks to rock shit. I cop it, said knock knock, I'm on this. I'm hot bitch.
This is the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast with the midweek news. 2 law enforcement professionals giving their unfiltered opinions. Be forewarned, they might be triggering, so sit down and hold on. This might get a little bumpy. Here are your hosts, the Iceman and Doc Holliday.
Well, welcome. We're running late. My fault. Had a little technical difficulties today. They had an update and crap wouldn't work right after the update, so it's
never update on podcast day.
No, we can't do that ever again.
Not good.
But I messed it up. I didn't mess it up. The update people messed it up.
Yeah.
But it's hopefully fixed now.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome. We're running late, but we're here. I haven't had any more Karen incidents so far this week. Knock on some wood. keeping. I'm gonna get some anti-Karen spray. I think that's called Old Spice. I don't know, or Aqua Blue. One of the two. I think that might be anti-Karen spray. It might be Karen. Like bait or something attracting. Yeah, like putting deer.
Yeah.
I think something like deer pee that them hunters put on their boots or something to keep Karens away.
Well,
what would that be?
them. No, that'll attract.
Oh, the
buck.
pee. Yeah. Okay.
Will it keep Karen away?
I don't know. I need some suggestions on anti-Karen spray.
That's a good question. I'm gonna come up with something. I'll figure it out.
We got to figure something out on that.
Yeah, I'll
right
figure
there.
it out.
So that would just be fantastic. Hope everyone had an eventful Memorial Day. Like I said before, we Sunday when I was on with Holstera, let's remember the reason for Memorial Day. Unlike some people in government don't know how to do.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes, I got the background in Chicago because we're going to be talking some Chicago business tonight.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of, we actually, like I said before, Illinois is one of my larger states on listeners, believe it or not. So
One of my old dear friends is watching us on Facebook Live, Miss Tara Langlois. Thank you, Tara, for joining us tonight. We are very appreciative of your support.
yes, everybody that supports. I'm just going to quick thing. Shout out, I'm not going to say no names. Got a listener in Oklahoma. Got some stuff mailed out to you, like I said. Appreciate you listening. Other listener in Louisiana from another day. Should have got his stuff today, hopefully, or not. This Sunday, if everything works out, I'm going to have a law enforcement, my first K9 guy on. Is actually, he's got a pretty decent following on TikTok. You want to go check it out? It's K9 Maximus 506 on TikTok. He's got a lot of videos. He's supposed to be on as a guest. Going to talk about his K9 stuff and a foundation that he has. I think it's K9s for kids or something like that.
That's cool.
So he's going to be on and talk about that. It's going to be Sunday around 4:30 or 5. I think we're actually going to do it live. So y'all come back for that. Anything you need to throw out there real quick before we get into
No, I'm just kind of disappointed I don't have like a Motor Cop Chronicle sticker, hat, shirt.
Bam is working on a cup for you coming up.
Cup.
She's been busy with that big order she had, but you'll be getting it.
It's like I'm
Just stand by.
super disappointed.
As if y'all are here at the end of it,
Well, you need to trademark, license that, and start selling that
what?
Motor Cop Chronicle stuff. It looks good.
It does. It just got to get inventory.
I like it.
I don't know if Doc remembered, but this is the beginning of the month, so unfortunately, we're gonna be doing the end to watch thing like I do every month, and the number's still way too high, folks. Way too high, and we're gonna say everybody, give y'all their name and their end to watch date and their department they worked in and how they passed away. So that'll be at the end. So. Other than that, where we're going to start out at. Let's start out on this one, which is good for us here in the state of Louisiana, because I know a lot of the other states have getting screwed like a $2 whore with the stuff. Yeah, it's a big boom chicka bow wow, or whatever you want to call it there.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Anyway. I'll start out with this one. As soon as it pulls up. I don't know why my phone is so slow today. Everything's just messing up on me tonight. Anyway, they had a couple different stories on it. This one is from bizmagsb.com. Anyway, it says Senate committee rejects the effort to weaken lawsuit protection for Louisiana police officers. Basically, they a couple weeks ago, I think we talked about how they actually got it through the House to take a lot of qualified immunity away from law enforcement in Louisiana. Well, the Senate guy got to the Senate, and as I predicted and hoped that it would not get through the Senate.
Republicans.
Thank goodness. A Louisiana Senate committee turned back an effort Tuesday to lessen lawsuit protections for law enforcement officers who engage in unreasonable and unconstitutional conduct. They make it sound like they just protect us. Trust me, if I violate your constitutional rights, I'm going to get sued. The department's going to get sued. Good chance I might get charged also, okay? Yeah. That's crap. I got sued in federal court one time over they sued me for unlawful search and seizure, unlawful arrest. I mean, all kind of shit. They lost, but it wasn't because I had immunity.
Right.
It's just I didn't do it. So that's crap when they're just saying, oh, we can go around violating people's constitutional rights and get away with it. That's bullshit.
See, this is the thing that you're reading this unreasonable. If the court determines that your conduct was unreasonable to begin with, you're not going to have immunity.
No, you're going to get dinged hard.
You're going to be criminally charged with a violation of civil rights, or with the penal code.
Yeah.
You know.
It says, under the concept of qualified immunity,
people are stupid.
Law enforcement officers accused of violating citizens' constitutional rights can be protected from civil lawsuits. If the officer didn't have prior knowledge the behavior was unconstitutional, qualified immunity does not affect criminal liability. you're gonna get sued. Period.
Yeah, you're gonna get sued.
You're gonna get sued. So I mean, it don't like you can't get sued. Whatever. You can get sued. Representative Edmund Jordan, a Democrat who represents parts of East and West Baton Rouge parishes,
Hallelujah.
said that the principle in effect means a citizen can't win a lawsuit against law enforcement unless the exact same set of facts has been established as a violation, which he argued is not a reasonable standard. He mentioned examples such as a 7-month pregnant woman who was handcuffed and tased, where the court ruled that an officer's behavior was both unreasonable and unconstitutional, but was still protected by qualified immunity. I call him bullshit on that. I guarantee you he was charged, or you just ain't gonna handcuff a pregnant woman and play a taser tag game with her and get away with it.
Well, he wasn't charged criminally. He was charged civilly. He was fired because of breaking policy and procedure, okay? Because as a taser instructor, it specifically says that you are not to tase a pregnant woman, okay? And you're not going to be covered by that. So the fact that he wasn't charged, see, this is the thing that they want.
They want to be charged criminally for everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
It says qualified immunity has become absolute immunity, said Jordan, author of the House Bill 609. Mr. Jordan, you're full of fucking shit is what you are.
Hallelujah.
Michael Rands, I don't know how to say it last name. You know, I'm bad when I say him. Anyway, executive director of Louisiana Sheriff's Association endorsed the bill, which he said would codify how Louisiana courts already are handling such cases. They're already handling the cases like that. Well, why you got to change anything? You don't need to change it.
Right.
That's him codifying the
a voter block.
Yeah, that's all that's trying to do. The bill would have applied to state courts, not federal courts. Other speakers argued qualified immunity tips the scales of justice in favor of the government over the public. Well, that's fine. If you want to take cops, like I said the other night, you want to take cops in qualified immunity away, take it away from all the politicians, take it away from the judges, take it away from just blanket,
everybody.
No qualified immunity whatsoever. So if a judge makes a bad call, let somebody out of jail on bond, they shouldn't have been out of jail, and they go out and kill somebody, that judge can be sued.
Yeah.
Fair is fair, right?
I think so.
Same thing with a politician.
I think so.
Fair is fair. Opponents argued, however, the bill would weaken protections for officers who are forced to make split-second decisions. Officers don't make much money, and eroding their protections will make it harder to recruit good people for those jobs, speakers argue. Correct. Tell you what, this was scaring the shit out of me being in law enforcement. I told the wife, I said, this happened. I can retire in 4 years. I would definitely be gone in 4 years because I wanted to do another 3 years. So I got to do about 7. If we lose qualified immunity, my ass is gone as soon as I can draw a retirement check because I'm not putting myself or my family in that kind of situation.
No, you can't. Not anymore.
Daryl Basco, president of Louisiana Fraternal Order of Police, said the change would be confusing to officers and would affect how they do their jobs. He suggested the bill would increase insurance costs, which it would. The legal system is already working, said Michael Carter, president of the Shreveport Police Officers Association. The Senate Committee Judiciary B voted 4-2 against advancing HB 609. So as far as I know, it's dead in the House. It's dead in the Senate, so
yeah, it's dead.
I'm sure it'll get brought up next year again because they keep trying to do this shit over and over and over and over and over again. All it does is basically gives
them another way to go after.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but basically, I mean, qualified immunity is not like just saying people think qualified immunity just gives cops just this immunity just to go out there and just do bad shit, and that's not the truth at all.
Well,
and it don't matter if you have it or not. A bad cop's going to do bad shit regardless.
Right. And let me say this: any bill that a Democrat puts out, is garbage. Hot, smelly, funky, nasty garbage. Especially when it comes to police officers, because their voter bloc, their constituents. They pander to these people, and they use this language, qualified immunity, and these types of things. And, you know, all the garbage that they put out when it comes to law enforcement is horse shit. You know it, and I know it. It's all horse shit. You know? It gets people...
with flies around it.
Yeah. Big old green turd flies.
Dead body flies. I call them dead body flies. Big dead body flies.
Dive bombers come up. Wow. Yes,
all right, well, I can go on and on about that. Surprised Randy ain't here because I think she actually went with a group to the state capitol fighting against that bill, which was good. Thank y'all for doing that. Absolutely. You want to do the Vicksburg one?
Yeah, I'll do Vicksburg. All right, a Vicksburg man was killed when he attempted to draw his gun on Louisiana State Police troopers, that's plural, troopers, during a standoff north of Tallulah, Louisiana, according to information from the Louisiana State Police. Michael Jackson.
I thought he was already dead.
Me too.
But obviously he was out there pointing shit at state troopers.
Yeah, couldn't moonwalk fast enough to get out of the way of those 1,300 feet per second freedom seeds. 29 was struck by gunfire during the standoff after he approached a safety perimeter established by authorities and drew his weapon, causing troopers to shoot, according to state police. Why didn't they tase him?
Usually if somebody points a gun at you, you're usually going to point one back at him with lead coming out of it.
But either spray him or tase him. You know. He was taken to a local hospital.
Oompa Loompas and shot him in the
leg. He was taken to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. The standoff occurred on US 65 north of Tallulah, Louisiana. For anybody that isn't familiar with Louisiana, Tallulah is in the northeast corner of Louisiana, around Arkansas, Tennessee line, all that. So way up there. I was heartbroken when I received news from Louisiana State Police late yesterday that Mr. Jackson had died in Madison Parish after an hours-long standoff with Louisiana authorities, Warren County Sheriff Martin Pace said. This is certainly not how any of us here wanted this to end, and my prayers go out to Mr. Jackson's family and friends. The events leading to Jackson's death began about 8:30 a.m. Monday when a Warren County Sheriff's investigator and a deputy went to the Bovina grocery to interview Jackson about a report involving the business, and a routine records check indicated he had several outstanding misdemeanor warrants for contempt of court from the Vicksburg Police Department. When the deputies went to speak to him about the warrants, Jackson began walking away and got into his car. That shit sounds vaguely familiar, don't it?
Yeah.
When the deputies tried to stop him, he drove off, dragging the deputies across the parking lot. Okay, kids, let's go back and let's have a review.
That's a no-no. That gets you shot.
Resist. Take your lick for being a nefarious fart.
Yeah.
Both deputies were able to break free, and Jackson left the store going west on I-20, where he was later seen by a Vicksburg police officer driving on the Mississippi River Bridge, heading into Louisiana. Let's see, at 9:30 a.m., Madison Parish Sheriff's Office requested assistance from state police for an armed person who initially had barricaded himself in his vehicle on US 65. Troopers, state police investigators, and crisis negotiators responded to the scene to assist. Well, at least they had.
Well, they brought the social workers out. Well,
some social workers.
I mean, it's sarcastic. They saying call it it's basically a hostage negotiator. Yeah. They're cops, but they did have negotiators out there.
And probably had some snipers sitting up too.
Yeah,
so.
they probably did.
After troopers arrived and began negotiations, Jackson continued acting erratically, including shooting into his car and then walking into an adjoining field with the firearm. After several hours of intense negotiation and attempts to disarm him using less than lethal efforts,
so they tried.
Jackson approached the safety perimeter and attempted to draw his handgun, resulting in shots being fired by troopers. The case remains under investigation by Louisiana State Police.
Sounds a little bit like suicide by a cop there. He knew it was going to happen when he walked up there and pulled that gun out.
Yeah. You know, the other thing is listen, you never want to see anybody get killed. You never want to see anybody get hurt. At any time, much less at the hands of police officers. And, you know, I've been very fortunate. I was never involved in a shooting other than you know, the aftermath of July 2016. You know, I have been shot at before, and knives pulled on me and stuff like that. But I've been very fortunate that I never had to shoot anybody in the line of duty. And you know, these people, they apologize to the families and they do all this stuff. You know, I have a 31-year-old son, and if my son does something for him to get his ass shot off by police officers, you don't have to apologize to me for that.
You're not going to get on the news and say, hey, he was a good boy going to okay.
No, because he knows better.
Exactly.
He knows better. He's been taught and raised, hey, you don't do stupid stuff. And if you do something like that when somebody has a gun pointed at you, or you start trying to run from a police officer, or you start trying to fight a police officer, you've put yourself in a position where bad things may happen to you. And you bought and paid for it.
Well, Brandon, who's watching on YouTube, says, wait, what? We had a shootout Thanksgiving night with Michael Jackson. He finally surrendered after hundreds of rounds fired at him. He said the name Michael Jackson is bad karma, I guess. Either that or that motherfucker keeps coming back.
Hold up, Brandon. Hundreds of rounds shot at him?
I don't know if the surrendering part was him being deceased or he was like Speedy Gonzalez dodging him bullets.
That's what I'm saying. If the department shot hundreds of rounds at one person, y'all may need to be on the range Monday. I just...
he fired hundreds of rounds at the cops.
And y'all... Why'd y'all let him fire hundreds of rounds at y'all? What the hell is going on with y'all? Son of a bitch.
We'll have to discuss this later, Brandon. We will discuss. Brandon did. He said shot up 3 cars. Brandon did send me some pictures of some new Old Smoky whiskey. They had the peach and stuff like that. But he sent me a link, and I did see a Old Smoky has a root beer flavored whiskey that I am definitely gonna have to get my hands on.
I'm gonna pass on that.
I'm gonna mix it up. It's gonna taste delicious. You tell most people I got watermelon flavored whiskey and they ain't gonna drink it, and I make it delicious.
Yeah, that thing tasted like a Jolly Rancher.
That's right. It's delicious. Brandon said he went and picked up some today. I hope he mixed it right this time. That's all I got to say. But yes, Michael Jackson is deceased. He decided to point a gun at the popo, and
that happens.
When he pointed the gun at the popo, they let the pew pews loose.
Yeah. Pew, 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 pew. I'm sure he was on his way to get his TWIC card. He had just gotten his life.
I'm sure.
You know, just gotten his life.
He just left church.
Just left church. Was going to another Bible study.
Yeah, he was, praising Jesus. So Michael Jackson has died once again. Unfortunately, poor Michael Jackson had Janet and LaToya and all them. They must be like severely upset.
Man, Janet Jackson was fine back in the day. Cool.
I still can see that nipple slip on that Super Bowl.
Boy, she was fine. Because I was always a butt guy. Yeah. And she had. Yeah.
I don't hear nothing out of her no more.
Hell, she's probably 70-some years old.
I don't think she's that old. I don't think she's that old.
Mid-60s, maybe?
She was the young daughter on Good Times. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was chunky back then, too. Yeah, she had that big old booty then.
All right. Well, this next one is I actually put pictures up on here of her. Anyway, the headline, this is out of The Advocate. This is a local story. I try to do a lot of Louisiana stuff anyway. Anyway, this one's from The Advocate. The headline reads, Pregnant woman killed in Baton Rouge shooting was a mom of 3, and her family just wants justice for her. Well, I mean, I would too. Anyway, this is the girl. This is the girl. Let's see.
That's a sad story, bro.
Oh, yeah. I'll decide to put it up.
That is horrible.
Right here. Here's 2 pictures of her. Right here. As you can see, she was young. She was extremely young. Anyway, the story says, Latrika Taylor, if I'm saying it right, was the mother of 3 young children, a 4-year-old boy and a set of 2-year-old twins. And in the first trimester of her most recent pregnancy, relative says so she's pregnant. But on May 23rd, the lives of Taylor and her unborn child were cut short by gunfire. She was a good girl, said Pamela Taylor, 40, her mother. She was never a problem child. She was sweet, nice, and humble. Taylor was shot to death and found by police in her car in the early morning hours of May 23rd in the 2200 block of Kaufman Street. Her car had crashed into a ditch, and no suspects or motives have been identified by police yet.
Gonna be baby daddy.
Most likely or something, but that's just that. And if it is the father of, I can't stand that term, baby daddy. If it is the father, the sperm donor piece of shit that got this girl pregnant and then killed her and his unborn child, there's special places in hell for motherfuckers like that. I'm sorry.
That'll take a boat paddle and beat his brains out.
If you can see in the pictures, I mean, did they say how old she was in here? I don't remember.
She's not that old. I don't
She's
think.
young. I mean, her mom's only 40, so I mean, she's probably maybe 20 years old or so, I'm thinking. And she looks real young. That's the pictures of her. I mean, it's sad. Now you got the children that, you know, I'm assuming that their dads aren't in their lives because they're not even mentioned in the story.
Right.
And now, you know, the mom's gonna have to raise them. They're not gonna have their mom or nothing like that. It's that.
Where's the outrage with this in that community?
Because that shit pisses me off.
Yeah,
That this young girl probably got killed over something
Stupid.
just totally stupid, or, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm guarantee you it's probably some man that shot her and did
Mm-hmm.
this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is the shit that needs to stop.
Yeah.
The politicians want to get and worry about law enforcement. Worry about the criminals. This is the problem when you got young people like this out here on the street getting killed for no good reason.
Yeah, for just stupid shit.
And an unborn child in her stomach. An unborn child in this woman's stomach, and they shot her and killed her.
Yep.
I didn't bring the story up, but I mean, I'm sure it was a local story over Memorial Day. Some people went into a apartment area, pool area, shot guns off, killed, I think, a 17-year-old?
Yeah, I think it was
two teenagers, I think, and a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
A 1-year-old child got shot and killed while he was swimming.
That was over dope.
I mean, this little kid didn't have nothing to do with nothing. If the other ones were doing dirt, you know, what happened? You know, everybody wants to call these thugs, these criminals, whatever you want to call them. They want to call themselves gangsters. Let me tell you what, gangsters, real mobsters back in the day when they actually were gangsters, when they had a mob, if you did them wrong, they killed you and you alone. They kill everybody else around you because they can't shoot. They would take out that one person. They're not going to go kill the kids. They're not going to kill innocent people, nothing like that. So for these people to call themselves gangsters, that's the biggest horse shit I ever heard. This poor young woman up here, as you can see pictures, if you go to the live stream or YouTube, whatever, and go look at the video, you can see pictures of her if you want. For the audio listeners, she's young. This young girl with a baby in her stomach is dead for no good reason. There's no good reason whatsoever that this young lady lost her life.
Yeah.
None.
Horrible. That's a horrible story, man.
That one sucks.
Hey,
I can't even make. Like I said, I can't. You know, we try to make light or some stuff. I can't even make light of nothing with that. It makes me sick.
Savages.
So anyway, let's hope. Keep your fingers crossed that law enforcement catches and finds out who did this, because I guarantee you somebody out there knows who did it. And if they keep their mouth shut about that, because they don't want to be no snitch, they don't want to be no rat, you a piece of shit too.
Yep.
Because like I said, that's just, it's disgusting. All right, I can rant on about it. You know, I send you the one about the Amazon.
Yeah.
Let's do that one. Then we're gonna get into the other one that I'm saving for last.
The law enforcement group demands Amazon to stop selling Blue Lives Murder apparel. If you are buying shit from Amazon or you're supporting stuff that supports Black Lives Matter and all that, stop.
Well, a lot of these places,
Just stop.
what pisses me off, okay, it's free market, okay? It's a free market. So if Amazon wants to sell this stuff, okay, it's a free market. You can sell it, okay? But But my point is Amazon stuff pulls down other stuff that they don't like. So if they had, what happens to somebody selling something that says Black Lives Matter, or who, let's say, of course, I don't agree with them whatsoever, but this is for argument's sake. Let's say the Klan or some white supremacy group wants to sell their merchandise on Amazon. Do you think Amazon is going to sell their stuff?
Well,
No, they're not. They're not going to allow that on their site. You have people like some of these other places I listen to, like other podcast stuff. They've actually had their merchandise on different places taken off, being refused to sell because they're conservative or whatever, because they don't support Biden and they don't believe in Black Lives Matters and all that. They don't, I'm not saying they don't. You're wrong. Everybody's lives matters. And then people say, oh, well, everybody can't matter unless Black Lives Matter. Everybody is in the whole class of everybody. I don't care, purple, green, orange. Everyone in this entire world deserves to live.
No, I think everybody's equally worthless.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
If anybody else don't, tough shit. But I'm just saying, though, I believe Amazon has a right to sell this shit. But if they're going to sell, if they're going to sell this bullshit, saying blue lives matter or whatever, then if somebody comes out and against and puts something, against the LGBTQ plus SRVZ community or something, somebody has something negative against them, somebody has something negative against Black Lives Matter, or some white supremacist group comes out, they should be able to sell their stuff too. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Sure, so, absolutely.
But if you're going to take some down, you got to take that down too.
Right. But my initial point of that was, for law enforcement officers, families, stuff like that, military, veterans, there's a whole lot of us in this country, and a whole lot of money that we move in and out of the economy. And my point is if you stop buying from these places, listen, I'll pay $20 extra for something that I can get from a mom and pop store versus having to order something through Amazon or going to Walmart or something like that. Okay? I'll pay the extra money just because I'm not going to support that kind of crap. I'm just not going to. I'm not going to. Just like when the university put the BLM flag on the scoreboard, at the baseball field and at the football field. They thought that shit was cool. That ain't cool to me. We got friends that are dead right now because of those people. Dead. They are dead.
Just like Antifa, they're just a terrorist group.
Now let me finish reading this before I catch a red eye. Law enforcement officials are calling for Amazon to remove items being sold on its website that include a Blue Lives Matter slogan immediately. It's disheartening that your company would allow this disgusting motto on your sales platform, the Detectives Endowment Association wrote in a letter to Amazon's chief financial officer, Brian Olsavsky. Yeah, he sounds like a dickhead. It has come to my attention that your website is selling T-shirts and other items emblazoned with the words Blue Lives Matter, the letter said, calling for the apparel's removal. The only purpose is to invite further division, hatred, and violence toward the hardworking men and women of the nation's police departments who are toiling every day to keep their communities safe. Such items, which include T-shirts, face masks, and vinyl stickers, also put law enforcement lives at risk, the letter said. To continue to hawk products emblazoned with this vile phrase puts the lives of police officers and all law enforcement nationwide at perils and risk, the letter said. Retired Vegas police officer Randy Sutton criticized Amazon's decision to continue selling the product, saying CEO Jeff Bezos is so engaged in profit or he is simply tone deaf to what is happening across America. I know that Amazon is a huge company. I understand that the company does not have a soul. I get that, but companies are made of people, and Jeff Bezos is a human being, is a person, Sutton said. Jeff Bezos is a dickhead and always has been. I believe somewhere in this is maybe someone that has humanity. What he's demonstrating here is either he is so engaged in profit or he simply is tone deaf to what's happening across America and the plight of American law enforcement officers who literally are being demonized and dehumanized by the left. A t-shirt with Blue Lives Murder slogan being sold on Amazon has mostly received negative reviews. 65% of people gave the product a 1-star rating, with reviews calling it un-American, hate speech, trash, distasteful, and something that promotes hatred and intolerance. Slogans are reference to pro-police movement Blue Lives Matter, which started in response to growing anti-police sentiments that came from the Black Lives Matter movement. FBI's law enforcement officers killed and assaulted database shows that violence against law enforcement officials has risen 31.6% in the first few months of 2021. By the end of April, police departments had reported a total of 25 police officers killed in felony attacks. At the same time last year, that number was 19. So the article keeps going on, and it talks about, they're expecting, continued attacks on law enforcement officers, which that goes without saying. But
it's gonna keep going until some other shit has to change.
Oh yeah.
So
a lot of shit has to change.
So a lot of politicians stop saying shit that is supporting these different organizations that are
right.
Did you notice I put like Trump in the background dancing? Right?
That's beautiful.
I don't know if anybody noticed that.
That is beautiful.
Put him back there. I love that man.
Still my president.
Love that man. All right. Anyway,
that friggin' turnip they have up there now.
So that's a bunch of shit, crock of shit there. So, the person that made it, whatever. I hope they never need the cops. I've seen a few anti-cop stuff. It's not bad around in Louisiana anywhere that I know of, really. But I saw some woman last fall. We were in a downtown area, and she had that A-cab on the back of her car. Got next to her, and I turned and looked at her. That bitch wouldn't even make eye contact with me. So, look, if you want to put it on there, at least fucking had the balls to make contact with me. I was just gonna wave and go, "Hey, how you doing? Kid, how you doing?" Hope you never need the cops for nothing.
Stand behind your convictions, man.
Yeah. If you can do it, fucking stand up for it. Damn right, stand up for it.
I wrote a letter to the university after I got my master's degree from them. I wanted to make sure that thing was conferred. that $46,000 that I spent for that.
Yeah, you got to make sure that shit's done before you get kicked out.
Y'all have read about me on the internet or the interweb.
Intranet.
Shit.
Well, let's get on to the major story. As you see, I put the background up in Chicago Police Department and District 7. I guess they have different departments for different districts. Don't know. I've been to Illinois one time in my entire life.
The S is silent. Illinois.
Well, however you want to say it.
Illinois.
It's just my, the way I talk. The way I talk, damn it. And
where do you live? Illinois.
Anyway, in Chicago, we do have a very large listener base over there. I appreciate y'all people a lot. If we got any Chicago PD guys, my heart goes out to y'all. If I was y'all, I would, if you're close to retirement, I hope you make it. And if you're new, me personally, I would go find somewhere else to
be a
work.
Firefighter.
Yeah, I tell anybody right now to be a firefighter. Anyway, the story headline is if people haven't been paying attention, is Chicago unveils their new foot pursuit policy following police shootings. I pulled up this sheet.
You can't make it up.
No, you cannot make this shit up here. But yes, it's coming out of Chicago. The Chicago Police Department on Wednesday announced a new foot pursuit policy that officials say makes the safety of officers and members of the public a priority. That is like the most lying bullshit statement I ever I'm like, it don't do anything to protect the cops. I mean, we know what we in for. If we got to chase somebody, we're going to chase somebody. It's not protecting the public. It's protecting the criminal.
Yeah.
It's not helping the person that just got their asses robbed or jacked or something, because it's helping the criminal. So that's bullshit. The new policy comes in the wake of foot pursuits that ended in the fatal shootings. You can tell this is from police1.com. I got the story because I read some other ones and I decided to use this story because on the other ones it says
completely different.
Yeah, it said that foot pursuits that ended in the murder of such and such instead of the fatal shootings, which it was a fatal shooting by a police officer earlier this year of Adam Toledo, 13, who was out at 3 o'clock in the morning, had a gun in his hand running from the cops, but that had nothing to do with
Who was that, Little Lucifer or whatever his name?
Yeah, felon or whatever they called him.
Yeah.
And Anthony Alvarez, 21, who was also running from the cops, I believe had a gun with him. Among its rules, the new policy prohibits foot pursuits of minor traffic violations.
Perfect.
Bars officers from separating from their partners, which we don't have that problem out here if we don't have partners. If they can't see the person, it bars officers from separating from their partners if they can't see the person they're chasing, or if the officer or the person is injured. If the motherfucker's running, how injured can they fucking be? How's that even make sense? He's injured. What the fuck's he running for if he's injured? How am I supposed to know if he's injured if he's fucking running? So, okay, and if the officer's injured, and I guess, if he wants to run, he should be able to run. Under the new policy, the chase must end if the officer has lost track of their location, which most cops I know can keep up of their location. That's one of the, first things you learn is always know where you're at.
Yeah.
Or their surroundings, if there's too much distance or obstacles between the officer. Okay. So if he goes over a fence, you can't go because he just got an obstacle. That just...
That's amazing.
Yeah. And if they will not be able to control the subject of the chase in a confrontation. How the fuck am I supposed to know if I can control the subject until after I catch him?
I put my own policy in. If they took off running, guess what I did? I turned left.
Yeah.
And went on.
In addition, officers must first consider if the need to apprehend a suspect is worth the risk to the officer. Most cops I know, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to catch this motherfucker.
And the race.
Yeah. The public or the subject before the foot pursuit must take place. The policy also says officers can pursue people on foot only if people have probable cause, the person committed a crime or believe that they are about to commit one. Usually when I chase somebody, it's because they fucking committed a crime.
Other than a traffic infraction, right? That's what they're saying. So if somebody's speeding and they just stop and bail out the car and haul ass.
It was fun chasing you in the car, but I can't chase after you on foot, sir.
But I will take that.
But I'm taking your car.
Yeah.
I'm taking your car, but it's probably stolen.
It's stolen. It ain't got no insurance on it. It probably costs $18.27.
I've had bad guys jump out of the car to, chase them in the car, and they jump out and they run off, and we didn't catch them, but I caught their car.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Car goes in the hock.
Yeah, and their mama or their granny calls wanting their car out, and I'm like, oh, really? Who had your car? Well, you want your car back? You bring to me so-and-so who was driving the car.
Right.
Meet me at the jail, and I'll release your car. Well, other than that, guess what? I'm going to hold your car until you bring me the suspects because it's part of an investigation right now.
Yeah, we sorry, non-Titsy. You ain't getting that car back.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, ain't Fanny. Yeah.
All right, let's finish doing this. Police officers must activate their body-worn cameras for every foot pursuit, which I'm pretty sure most of them have. That's why we have footage of the shootings that occurred, because they
Democrats.
They had their body cameras activated. Superintendent David Brown said officers had been using the strategies during foot chases, but making the strategy a written policy would make officers subject to disciplinary action if they violate it. The new policy will temporarily go into effect June 11th. The public will have an opportunity to offer feedback before it becomes permanent in September. Most of the public don't even want the cops out. I mean, a lot of them defund the police. Basically, it sounds like to me, if I worked out there and you shoved this policy in my face, I'd be like, okay, anybody who ran for anything, I'm not going to chase them.
Well, that's what they want.
Because what they're doing with this policy is they're making it where they can hem up any of the cops and get them on a policy violation to fucking either fire them, suspend them, or do something to them. That's all this is. This is how I'm reading it.
I'm curious, is there anybody on these boards or anything that look at these people when they put this type of stuff out for people to look and just look at them and seriously go, you are stupid. You are an idiot.
They're definitely. It says, it is essential the voices of our officers and community members are represented in the policies that can directly affect them, Brown said. As we transform the police, here we go, as we transform, that's that fucking word, transform the police department through reform, we will continue to collaborate with our residents to make Chicago safer for everyone. I'm about to pull up a picture on something and put it on here, and we're going to talk about how safe Chicago is getting.
Well, they got 1,700 people shot so far this year?
I'm not sure.
Not killed, just shot.
The week after fatal shooting of Toledo, but anyway, it goes into that stuff. Because of foot pursuits are one of the most dangerous actions that police officers can engage in, we cannot afford to wait any longer to put a policy in place that regulate them, Lightfoot said. That's stupid, bitch. Said in a statement announcing policy, police officials and officers will undergo training to familiarize them with the new policy. The training will focus on the responsibility of the pursuing officer, including the considerations the officer must take into account before taking up a pursuit and what should be done during the pursuit. Yeah, guys and girls that working in Chicago,
don't run.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Matter of fact, I wouldn't even turn my lights on unless I had to get through an intersection or something because I had to use a bathroom.
Basically sounds like what they want y'all doing over there. What I'm taking perspective on is that they basically want you to go sit under, I don't know if y'all have a lot of trees out there or not, but go sit under a tree or something and just wait for somebody to get killed or somebody to call and go write a report on it and then go back and sit under a tree.
Or wait for somebody to come up and try to kill you.
Yeah. Make sure you know, somebody watching your back. Yeah. This form I'm gonna pull up right here. I know it's hard to see, but anyway, this is actually it's a comp stat sheet from the Chicago Police Department. Weissman has actually been doing a little more research.
There's no way I could just.
Anyway, it says this is a comp sheet for week 18. And it's cut. The top parts report covering the week of 26 week of 26 April 21st through May 21st for a month. It says in the last 7 days on this one, it says the murders in 2021 for 7 days was 14, and in 2020 it was only 19. That's a 56% increase right there. That's just in 7 days. Criminal sexual assault was 36, and last year was 25, 44% increase. Robbery, 119 robberies. Last year it was only 87. That's 37%. Aggravated battery was up 29%. Burglaries were down 8%.
I wonder what can be causing it.
Theft was up 82%. Motor vehicle theft, 15%. The total is a 29% increase. Shooting incidents were 80 shooting incidents in 7 days. Last year was only 57. It's a 40% increase. It says year to date. So this is year to date right now. In 2021, murders are at 195 or something like that.
Good grief.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's a 22% increase for 1 year. 2 year is a 35% increase. Total increase of year to date, I think, is saying they've had 865 shooting incidences already. It's a 33% increase. It's crazy. You can go online. I mean, it wasn't hard. I went online and just pulled all this up.
I had a discussion with somebody one time talking about, shootings in these areas. And the person said, "Where are you getting your information from?" I said, from FBI.gov. They keep up with these statistics. And you know what the response was?
They're lying too?
Yeah. The cops are making those statistics up. Those aren't documented statistics.
Okay.
So
I'm willing to bet, because I am a cop, you've been a cop, they're actually probably higher.
Higher.
Because there's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I've been to stuff, people's like, I don't want to report on it. I'm like,
Yep.
I'm not going to argue to write a report. And I'm like, okay, and I'll leave. So there's actually more shit that happens out there that is not reported. So the stats are actually higher than what the FBI is getting, because they're just going off of the reports that the cops are writing.
That UIC number, when it don't come across, for tracking, when it's not in that specific thing, it goes by the wayside. So well, that's fabricated. That's fabricated.
Yeah, but
Okay.
my Chicago people over there,
They live among us, man.
brothers, sisters, I feel so sorry for y'all if y'all work for Chicago PD,
Yeah.
because y'all's administration, your Lori Lightfoot dumbass.
That's
Mayor
an ugly man, bro.
Yeah, right.
That's an ugly man.
And the police chief, which is most likely appointed, the big city police chiefs are usually appointed, which basically he's not really a police chief. He's just, the mayor's got her hand up his ass as a puppet, just controlling him, because he just wants to make his, how many hundreds of $1,000s he's making a year. He's just a puppet for her.
Well, that
He's gonna
sounds
do
kind of
whatever
familiar to what goes on over here.
Yeah. I don't believe any police chief or anybody that's in charge like that, should be appointed by someone. I think they should all be elected, because that way they cannot be controlled by the mayor.
Well,
so
they would elect the same type of person anyway.
I know, but at least if they had a disagreement, right now the mayor can get a hair up their ass, her ass, and just fire them. So he's going to do whatever the fuck she says do. If he can make up a stupid ass, I don't know this police chief up there, commissioner, however they say it. I mean, was he ever like a street cop, or is he just one of them college educated people that suck the dick up to the top or whatever because he's got an education?
That's a good question.
He should stick up. I mean, I feel sorry for y'all. He should stick up for his people and say, this is fucking stupid.
What's his name?
Oh, fuck, I don't even remember. I have to look it up. But, I mean, I really feel sorry for y'all over there. If I worked there, I'd be looking for a different place if I wasn't close to retirement. And if you are close to retirement, yeah, that's him. And just watch yourself, because it's basically, to me, it just sounds like they're just putting more shit on y'all to hem y'all up. That they just trying to get cops arrested, and they don't want y'all doing y'all's job.
That's the same guy that was the chief police, the chief of police for Dallas.
Yeah, well, look how great that was.
Yeah, and left after that ass hat went over there and shot all the Dallas police officers. Yeah, I knew I remember that dickhead's name.
Anyway, my Chicago people, I feel sorry for y'all. Go to a smaller rural department. Get out of that place. I mean, y'all working in a freaking war zone, man. And the good people that are there, unfortunately, you can't protect them the way they should be protected.
Went to Dallas Baptist University, has a bachelor's degree in sociology. Amberton University for his MBA, and with the FBI National Academy.
Did he get his doctorate in cocksucking somewhere?
Well, he's got a Bachelor of Science from Dallas Baptist. So.
Anyway, I feel sorry for the good people in Chicago. I feel really bad for the law enforcement there.
Yeah.
They're tying y'all's hands up.
Stay vigilant, brother.
And I've watched like a lot of videos and stuff. I mean, the cops there, a lot of stuff I've seen, the cops there are extremely professional.
Very.
well-trained individuals. And for them to be treated like this, it's ridiculous. Good cops are being just treated so bad. I feel sorry for y'all. All right.
Yep.
I don't want to run too long. If we're going to run a little bit longer. We're going to start with the bad part of it, the end of watch part. And I'm going to have to read it because Doc don't have access to reading it over here. So let's start on that. We're going to read it. There was 19, I believe, for this past month. And I think there was 20 last month and 22. We're going down, but we're not going down fast enough. I'd love to have a month where it's like, hey, guess what?
0.
We have 0 or 1. That would be awesome. So let's start reading those off. If you want to see the pictures, you can go online, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and look at it. Anyway, the first one's going to be a Sergeant John Burrite of Oregon State Police. His end of watch was Tuesday, May 4th. He was struck by a vehicle. And we have Border Patrol Agent Freddie Vasquez, United States Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Protection, United States Border Patrol. End of watch was Saturday, May 8th. He died from COVID. We have Detective Lucia Benedita, San Luis Police Department in California. End of watch May 10th. He died from gunfire. You didn't see that in the news, did you? You didn't see none of that in the news. Man was killed.
Nope.
Deputy Sheriff Samuel Alexander Leonard from Concho County Sheriff's Office, Texas, end of watch May 10th. He died from gunfire. Where's the national coverage on that? Didn't see it.
Nowhere.
Didn't see it.
Nope.
Same guy, same department, Sergeant Stephen Jones, Concho County Sheriff's Office, end of watch May 10th. He died from gunfire.
Wasn't that
I think I saw
ambush?
a little bit on that, but
Yeah.
it didn't get much coverage at all.
Yeah, that was an ambush.
Police Officer Jimmy N. of Stockton Police Department, California, end of watch May 11th. Cause of death, gunfire. I didn't hear nothing about that one either. Deputy Sheriff James Herrera, Denver Sheriff's Department, Colorado's end of watch was May 16th. He died from COVID. Lieutenant Adam Gustafon, if I say him wrong, excuse me, West Fargo Police Department, North Dakota, end of watch was May 18th. He had a heart attack. The picture in there, he looks very young, very young. Superintendent Scott D. Slip Mahoney. Slip was his nickname. Delaware County Bureau of Park, Police, and Fire Safety. End of watch was Tuesday, May 18th. He died from COVID. We got Police Officer Chris Oberheim of Champaign Police Department, Illinois. Did I say it right that time?
Yeah.
End of watch was Wednesday, May 19th. He died from gunfire. I don't remember seeing anything on the news about Mr. Chris right there being gunned down. Police Officer Jeremy Britton of Nogales Police Department, Arizona, end of watch Friday, May 21st. He was struck by a vehicle. Corporal Thomas Wade Frazier of Artesa Police Department, New Mexico, end of watch was May 21st. He died in an automobile crash. I do remember seeing something on this next one. Police Officer Scotty Triplett, Memphis, Tennessee Police Department. End of watch was Saturday, May 22nd. He died in a motorcycle crash. So, those are get me a little close there. Detective Stephen Arnold, Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, end of watch was Sunday, May 23rd. He died from gunfire. The only reason I heard anything about that is because it's local.
And he was shot 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just succumbed to his injury.
Yep. 5 years of misery, suffering.
In the hospital, I believe. He never did really get better. Conservation Officer Sarah Grill in Minnesota Department of Natural Resources Enforcement Division, Minnesota, end of watch was May 24th. She died in an automobile crash. Deputy Sheriff Daniel Duke Trujillo, Denver Sheriff's Office, Colorado. End of watch was May 26th. He died from COVID. Trooper John Harris, Mississippi Department of Public Safety, Mississippi Highway Patrol. End of watch was May 28th. He was struck by a vehicle. Police Officer Gennaro New, Phoenix Police Department in Arizona. End of watch was May 31st. He died in an automobile crash. Sergeant Dominique Vaca, San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office, California. End of watch was May 31st. He died from gunfire.
Don't remember hearing anything about that.
No, what was that? About 5? I think I should remember 5 or 6 that died. These officers died from being shot. Anyway, it's sad. A lot of people died from being shot and killed, being struck by vehicles. People wonder why, the cops shoot people when they're coming at them with cars. That's why, because their car is a deadly weapon.
Yep.
Anyway, keep all these officers, deputies, and state troopers in your thoughts. If you're real religious, pray for them, their families. A lot of them gave up their lives in the line of duty, protecting the public, serving out there. Died what they loved doing, and you don't hear anybody saying their names, do you? Except for us. We're saying their name. I'm gonna keep doing it. So, like I said, I don't enjoy this part of it at all, but that's them. Let's hope next month we go down more in numbers. So it's gonna be them. And with that, we're gonna end it for this Wednesday. Like I said, come back Sunday. We should be live. I'm going to have K9 Maximus 506 from TikTok on the podcast. Going to talk about his foundation, and I talked to him on the phone. He's got some pretty funny stories to tell also. Talk about his K9 stuff. If you have any questions or whatever for him, come on the live show, and you can we'll give him the questions as you type them in. As always, if you want to get in touch with me or Doc, you can email us at motorcopchronicles@gmail.com. If you're a law enforcement, first responder, veteran, anything like that, and you got a story you want to tell, I'm going to be a guest, let me know. We'll figure something out. If you just have a story you want one of us to read, email it and we'll read it. Doc will do it in his radio voice or something like that. But other than that, everybody stay safe. Again, I feel sorry for the Chicago people, man. I feel sorry for y'all.
Love you guys and gals.
Y'all stay safe, and remember to always smile, because the Iceman could always be behind you.